So first things first, what I did is I got underneath there and I unbolted the controller. Then I took the deck off, obviously, and then I disconnected the battery just in case, because I don't want it connected just in case shit. And so I remember what wires go where, because there's 4 wires, I guess 2 wires for each controller at a guess. What I did is I just like marked them by, I don't know if you can see here, but I just put a bit of tape around the 2, and I know that those ones go to the left side, and I also put a little bit of tape on them so I know that they go to that side. Now I'm going to be able to get to these bolts down there a lot easier because I moved the controllers out of the way. I have noticed, like I've been told, that there is thermal paste down there, so I've got a bunch of thermal paste that I'm going to replace. I might clean it up, I'm not sure. I probably should. So the whole reason for doing this was so I could get in there properly with something decent and replace everything like properly and like really tighten it up in there using a decent bolt that's got those grips in there. Maybe put spring washers in as well, not sure, and Loctite, not sure. I've created a plate there for that side. I'm going to do the same for this side. So I removed the battery completely and marked ends and their corresponding ends down there with masking tape. So the ones with masking tape over them go to the ones with masking tape down there, and vice versa. So I can't get confused and blow shit up. And this way I've got more room to move, so I can get underneath the controllers and clean it up and put some more thermal paste down there after I sort out the chassis issue. There is actually no reason for these wires to be this messy. I've traced them all through and seen where they go and where they connect, and that they're all tangled up. Like, whoever put this shit together was not a nervous little Asian dude. It was just somebody who was like, no, I've got to do 400 of these today. Fucking untidy, mate. Untidy as shit. What I really want to do is trace them all through and get everything like just neat. Fuck's sake. I want to do it, but I don't think I will. I'm just going to tidy them up a little bit and then just re-thermal paste the controllers and then just put it all back together. I think I'll take my time. Damn, I build PCs and I should have known this, because when you disconnect the power source, you've still got to hold down the power button, otherwise there's like charge that like stays in the system. And that's exactly what happened here. I disconnected the battery, but I did not hold down the power button to get rid of the charge that was left inside the system after I'd taken the battery out. And while I was fucking moving around with the wires, big fucking spark. And I was like, oh no, I've probably like burst its bloody appendix or something. So I quickly hooked the battery back up, checked out to see if everything was working, and it still is. Lucky, but Jesus Christ, follow me for more how not to's. So, it's raining outside today. That's why I brought it inside to have a good crack. I fixed the chassis problem, but now... So I'm done for today. Always keep your environment clean, so you know where everything is. I'm a fucking psychopath, so I keep my shit just... it's all filed. I know where everything is, but I'm gonna have another crack tomorrow. So, the only way I can really get this shit to sit down nicely, which I've managed to do, it's all pretty level. There's a space for everything to fit into every little gap. It's a lot tidier than it was, but I had to pull the wires through, so now I'm going to have an extra bunch of wires that I will tidy up around the stems and shit. I reckon that's a better avenue to take rather than having an extra foot of wiring in here that you got to try and, you know, hold down. Because a lot of these wires, especially the motor wires, like, since they had so much pressure on them, all that shit had cracked. So I've put a bunch of tape around where there was exposed wire because of the coating had cracked, and that's just caused by the pressure of the plate on top pushing down on it so hard, which is ridiculous. So I gave up on the plate idea. I just put some real decent nuts and washers on there. I had some of these type washers. You put two on together and they like sort of squash into each other and hold tight. Yeah, I don't want to take that shit out ever again. It's a no from me.
Yeah, that's so bizarre. What's your routine like? So you go out now.
So now I'm just going around replacing all the bolts for the deck with decent ones. Putting on nuts on the other end where I can. Up the front there, that one there is a bit too close, so I can't get anything on there, but that's alright. Just torqued it down. And the LED strip that was under there was in the way, so I pulled that one off. And this one here on the other side, I'm going to rewire it, and I'm going to put it down the very center underneath. That's my plan, because then it will just like glow the bottom of the road. That'll look pretty cool, I reckon. That looks much better. Just one single LED down the center rather than two at the sides. It actually looks really good in real life. I got some shred lights off my electric skateboard. Just mounted them pretty crudely on there. Just made some mounts, bit of rubber under there and whatnot. Got all these wires and shit. Got all these wires to sort out still. Just gonna I'll figure it out as I go. One other thing I did today, put a rear vision mirror on there. It's just a handlebar mirror off my CBR, like from ages ago. It had ones that went there. I didn't want one hanging out there, so I just chucked it up there. And it's perfect size too, actually. It's quite surprised how much it helps. Pretty stoked with today's effort. Everything's feeling pretty good. She's solid as now.